we saw that Alvaro and the V4R were unbeatable at times, and it'll be interesting to see just how much everyone else has moved forward to be able to close that gap.
The other question mark, I suppose, as far as next season is the number 2 riders, as it were, of a couple of those main teams, the likes of Michael Rinaldi, who has an opportunity now in the shadow of Scott Redding next season. He's got time under his belt on that machinery just as much as Alvaro Bautista, and Andrea Locatelli, who's been one of the revelations of 2021, certainly from sort of rounds 4 or 5 onwards, whether he can benefit from having a potential world champion alongside him for next season.
Yeah, I think for Locatelli in particular, it's going to be really interesting to see how next year goes. He's 5th in the championship this year. He's been a rider that's made such big steps forward since he came to the World SBK paddock. When you think back to when he jumped on a super sport bike in Phillip Island last year, there was a sense that he had just washed out of the Grand Prix paddock, hadn't lived up to the expectations that people had for him whenever he was coming in as a Moto 3 rider. Showed him the super sport bike just how good he can be. He's done a really good job all the way through this season, but I think it's going to be harder and harder next year as well for Locatelli. He could easily win races, but to try and maintain that form from top 5 in the championship, that could get more and more difficult.
Yes, and we talked early almost about next season, but it won't be long until we are thinking about 2022. Ducati planning to get straight at it, and we're not far away from the first more formal test with multiple teams involved either.
Yeah, Ducati testing Thursday and Friday in Jerez next week, so the team and the riders jump straight on a plane, get to southern Spain and get to work, and then for most of the rest of the grid, it's the 15th of December that they're looking to get themselves out on track.
A little bit of time for a rest for them, but no time for a rest for Anthony. He's down a bit.
Cheers, Alex. Down with Ian Camia, Team HRT garage here, and Leon, obviously a bit of a changing of a chapter this weekend for the team. I'll have time to talk about next year in due course, but how have the guys felt this morning and now? First reaction for FP2.
I think everyone's really, really impressed with the layout, the design of the circuit. It's absolutely amazing. Like, I think the track needs a little bit of bedding in from what we understand. Like, the surface is very new, very green. It's not had really any track action until now with the big bikes at least. And yeah, I think everyone's expecting the track just to get better and better. I think now online the grip is getting acceptable. Offline the track is really, really green, and yeah, not much grip at all. But this will take some time to bed in, as we already know. But yeah, so far everyone's really happy.
You've been in conditions like this in Sepang, in Thailand in the past. Have you survived this sort of conditions out there? 60-degree track temperature, extraordinary humidity.
I think it's just to accept it for what it is. You know, you normally have a reference of how tyres are working on a circuit. You have to reset completely, understand the conditions are what they are, and just try and ride to what your feeling is, to what you feel you can do on the bike at the time. So it's quite difficult. You know, you have to really reset your brain and understand the track is different. It is what it is that day. And everyone will be in the same position now, because everyone will be trying to do as many laps as they can this session to get a feel for it and understand where they are.
Best of luck this again.
Thank you. Cheers.
Anthony made a brief allusion there to changing of the guard, as it were, at Team HRC, and of course that's a reference to the change of riding order from the 2 veterans, Alvaro Bautista and Leon Haslam, currently riding within that factory outfit, to a new look duo from the Grand Prix paddock, Vika Lecuona and Hafiz Shireen, who will be joining World SBK from 2022 onwards. In the meanwhile, back to free practice 2, still 22 minutes remaining. Toprak Razgatlioglu leads the way, 1:34.651, fastest time of the weekend so far. Scott Redding, the only other man, into the 1:34s. Jonathan Ray P3 and just behind.
Yeah, we saw Jonathan Ray there in the pit box just talking to the team, and look, he was really talking to his crew chief Per Reba, but most importantly talking to his electronics engineer as well. He wants Davide to know exactly what that bike is doing for him. Look, like he was talking about when he closes the throttle and gets on the brakes. So for Jonathan Ray, that's the one area where he's really trying to make a little bit of progress for right now.
Plenty of laps though put in by Jonathan Ray.
Yeah, a dozen laps on that stint, and we saw the stint summary as well. There was a couple of slow laps. We obviously saw one lap where he sat up to let Toprak through. Everything else though pretty much down inside those 1:35, so I think it aged 1:35 laps. So that's decent pace right from the outset, considering the lost track time in the opening session.
Plenty of riders in the pits at the moment. Scott Redding just completing his latest lap, still running out there, and still within a couple of tenths of a second of his fastest in this session. Michael Rinaldi just on his way towards a first flying lap of his latest stint. Rider comparison here in towards the spectacular turn 10, that beachfront view.
Yeah, you can see there for Scott Redding, he was really floating into that corner as well, and he was using the engine braking of that Ducati to good effect, and a little bit different for Chaz Davis, a little bit more stable. You can see for Garrett Gerloff, he's actually got that bike more of an angle on the entry down in towards that corner, but very different styles needed on the Ducati and the Yamaha, and obviously we've seen one Yamaha rider with a very different style on the run down in towards turn 10 in the shape of Toprak Razgatlioglu, so it does show that there's a lot of different ways to skin the cat.
Every circuit has its iconic corner, doesn't it? We always talk about the wall in Aragon and so on and so forth, Bit of Island, and here in Indonesia, turn 10 could very easily become one of those, particularly because of that.
Yeah, I have to say, on the track walk yesterday, just to have a look around the place, there's a lot of really cool areas around this track. Down towards turn 10, you can see the sea in the background. You've got a lot of hills as well that create almost like a valley for you to look through, and on the exit of that corner we look out onto the beaches as well, and it is a setting unlike any other, and certainly the drone footage from this weekend has been pretty incredible.
Yes, cool, certainly not in terms of temperatures, but in terms of your surroundings, absolutely, no doubt about it. 20 minutes remaining in free practice 2. Toprak Razgatlioglu is the man to beat. The Ducatis are still out there. Michael Ruben Rinaldi becomes the latest rider into the 1 minute 34s. Actually just picked Scott Redding as well, up for P2 in this session. That's a good effort from Rinaldi.
Yeah, Rinaldi, he's just putting in his 10th lap, and his teammate Scott Redding been really busy in this session, 15 laps already for Redding, so he's getting a lot of useful information. Same as Garrett Gerloff, he's got a lot of laps as well in under his belt, so just a couple of riders really trying to get the miles in, understand how the tyres are going to react, and then try and use that to educate your decision for which tyre to use tomorrow. Just look at the track temperature, it's again dropped another couple of degrees, so we're down around 50 degrees now, so it is coming down steadily as the afternoon wears on. We're around 3:30 local time now, and it is all about the cloud cover that comes in. We've also got a little bit more of a breeze here as well at this stage, so it's a little bit easier compared to what we had in this morning session.
And for a little bit of formation flying for Toprak Razgatlioglu and Andrea Locatelli, who leave pit lane together.
Yeah, we've seen this all the way through this season as well. They like to go out there and get some running together, particularly at the end of a free practice 2 session. This one, they'll try and do their longer run. Wouldn't be too surprised to see them stay out all the way through the rest of the session.
It's funny to hear from Andrea Locatelli yesterday when he was talking in terms of trying to follow Toprak in the early stages of the season, having to say, slow down please, I can't keep up, so I can't learn anything from you. So we've heard from Anthony on a couple of occasions. Let's go down to pit lane from him.
Cheers, I think he was Paul then in the Yamaha box, and Paul, both guys just went out now together, trying to work together, understand a bit about this Mandalika circuit. What's the first impression being interviewed?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, the layout's different. I think passing's going to be very difficult. The way the track kind of comes back to an apex always immediately after a corner, so especially in the last sector, passing's going to be challenging. But yeah, in general, it's an enjoyable track to ride, and you know, a few issues with the surface and some damage to the surface after FP1, but that's kind of new track blues, I guess, and improvements, I'm sure, as we go forward.
That's the best way to not need to pass a difficult track like that. Start in front, Toprak's pace. That seemed like a pretty big spurt. You were surprised by the gap this morning.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Tune only made one exit. Ducatis traditionally take more time to get up to their own pace, refining their package. The Yamaha's very good, always out the box, and to be honest, the advantage we had in FP1 was Toprak is so good at learning tracks and so good at riding in slippery conditions. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, we thought it to be, let's say, an normal session. So
that's what I thought.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, interesting to hear there that Paul's not taking any credit for Toprak's superb performance earlier on today. It's not that Yamaha are in a superb position or anything else, it's that Toprak is the man.
Toprak is the man. He's been the man all the way through this season. We saw it in Most as well. Pretty much after only a couple of laps, he was down to lap record pace. And Toprak learns tracks quickly. A lot of these top riders do. They've got that mental capacity to be able to get themselves up to speed pretty quickly. And for most of these riders, when you talk to them, it's 4 or 5 laps and they've got themselves into a groove for knowing roughly where they have to be and what they have to do. What's interesting is someone like Scott Redding. I was chatting to him yesterday and I was asking him, you know, Scott, what do you do to learn these tracks? Because he's had quite a few new tracks since he came to World SBK. And he said, I don't really do anything. I don't look at video, I don't look at track maps. go for a walk, and then I go out and ride it, and I get up to speed pretty quickly. And it is that adaptability that really sets apart the top riders.